This is the HaltingWinter podcast. My name is Seth Winterhalter. HaltingWinter exists to help small business owners grow and scale their businesses. We want to help you make more revenue, more profit. Most of all, we want to help take the stress and overwhelm off of figuring out your next steps so that you can enjoy work. You can enjoy the business that you created. You should enjoy being a small business owner. And we want to help you do that. So if we can help, hit us up. Go to HaltingWinter.com. Take our free business assessment. Some business owners just don't know where to start. And so taking the free business assessment and figuring out what parts of the organization need help, that can be a great tool and a great way to get the conversation started with us. So go to HaltingWinter. All that information is there. Today, we're continuing our series on common small business problems. We're following up with an article by Lindsay Cox. She wrote this article actually wrote it a few years ago, re-edited it, and kind of updated it a year ago. And now I'm kind of following suit and editing it and updating it for us. So go back and listen to the first 3 podcasts. Today we're dealing with this: delighting customers. One of the problems with small businesses is they don't know how to maximize their customers. And one of the ways to do that is, how do you just delight them? Lindsay says this in the article. She says, customer satisfaction is a great goal, but customer delight is even better. Again, customer satisfaction is a great goal. We want our customers to be satisfied, but I want to do more than customer satisfaction. I want to create customer delight. Why? 3 things. Why would you want to spend time, energy, money, resources? Why do you want to go above and beyond and move from customer satisfaction to customer delight? 3 things. Number 1, because when people have a positive experience, people spend more. When you make something bring a smile to someone's face, they're going to come back to you. They're going to recommend you. That's number 2, word of mouth marketing. People love to tell people about things that they love. People love to share positive things. And so it's one thing if you just give, I think if you just give good service, I think people expect good service. In fact, when we don't, there's only 2 ways to get word of mouth marketing. Number 1, to do a poor job so that they give you word of mouth through negativity, or to do a stellar job, to go above and beyond where they go, wow, that was out of the norm. Don't be normal. Be extraordinary. So number 1, positive experience means people spend more. Number 2, it means that they will market for you. And the best marketing is relationship marketing, where a potential customer meets an existing customer, and that existing customer shares, like, you got to go try this, because now they have built an authority through relationship. So you want word of mouth marketing above all. Number 3, it is way cheaper to retain a current customer than it is to go acquire a new one. Think about that. Like, it is the cost you're spending on. The reason you have a marketing budget is you're trying to acquire new customers. If you took what if you took some of that marketing budget and put that into customer service and made the customer experience so off the charts that they just did the marketing for you? Okay. What can we do? There's some of the why, but I want to talk about 2 things. 2 things to help that you can do right now to delight customers. And number 1 is the one we'll really dig into. Number 2 is the easy one, but I don't think a lot of people are doing it. Number 1, let's dive into this. Ask yourself, what problem do you solve for your customers? Again, this is really the story brand framework. We ask this question with everything. If you want to do better at marketing, you want to have a better website, you want to have better messaging, you want to sell more, you have to have as much clarity as possible on this question. What problem do you solve for your customers? And then here's how it relates to customer delight. Do it. Actually solve it. And solve it in such an amazing way. And remember this. First, you have to remember this. There are very few things In fact, why don't we just say there's nothing? I'm sure there is, but there are very few things. Nothing really solves a problem permanently. Like if you're a gym owner, the problem you solve for customers, there are many problems, but let's boil it down. My gym is helping you have the physical vitality and energy to live your best life. Wow. The problem is you are not living your best life. You are hindered by your nutrition choices. You are hindered by your energy levels. You're hindered by your lack of muscle development, especially as you get older. You are weaker. You are more frail. Your body is deteriorating. We can help solve that. We can keep you in your best condition possible so you can continue to experience all that life has to offer, even as you age. Wow, that's a pretty powerful statement. But listen, if someone shows up to the gym, you don't solve that problem indefinitely. In fact, if you help people lose a lot of weight through proper exercise, through proper nutrition, that doesn't solve their problem. They can go get fat again. In fact, many people do. And so remember this, you probably, most likely, do not solve someone's problem permanently. Why is this so important? This is important because if you make a great impression, if you help them solve that problem, maybe not permanently, but just because you don't solve it permanently doesn't mean you don't solve it for them. You can solve it momentarily. You can solve it within a season. You can solve it for a period. You can solve it ongoingly. A gym helps people, if they put it into practice, lose the fat, build a body, build an aesthetic, build health, build healthy habits, build all kinds of things, and then that gym helps them keep it. Because how do you know, how many of you know that if you lose weight, you actually have to continue to do things to keep that weight off, to continue to be healthy? So a gym is an ongoing problem solver. Your products and services have an aspect to them, and maybe this is why, in fact, if you're a coach, you're a consultant, you're a service provider, you may think, well, man, if I solve their problem, they won't come back. This is one of the problems right now, I think, in the marketplace. In fact, I'll be careful here. This is a bit of if you catch me over a cigar and scotch, this might be my hotbed issue. This is the problem, I believe, with the healthcare system. I believe that our healthcare system could actually help people, but it is so built on the distorted part of capitalism. It makes so much money in helping people diagnose and alleviate current problems. It won't actually step into preventative because it believes if it actually helps people be preventative, it'll lose money. And the fact is it won't. It'll make more money because preventative healthcare is continuing. It's not, there are no magic pills and then you take it once and then you're fine forever. Preventative is always ongoing. And the reality is things happen. People get injured. There will always be healthcare issues, but we're going at it backwards, and it's to the detriment of humans. Anyway, soapbox issue. I don't want to get into the weeds. But see, they have a wrong mindset. And you, as a business owner, might have a wrong mindset. You might say, well, man, if I do my best job now, well, I've solved the problem so well that I'll just be a one shop, one done. Again, I don't want it. Maybe for your business, I would love to know what it is, though. I would love to know what that business is. Because all the ones that come to my head, right, if you're a restaurant, you can serve the best meal of their life. Guess what? You didn't feed them forever. They're going to want to come back. If you are a service provider, you pressure wash driveways or clean gutters or, right, whatever you do, you're a plumber. They might have a problem that you come fix, but guess what? There are going to be other problems that pop up, and guess who they're going to call? You, because your service was outstanding. Like think of your business maybe in a different way. Like again, maybe you're a coach or a consultant. You go, man, if I give the keys to the kingdom, if I help grow their business, guess what? If you grow their business, it's going to continue to grow and they're going to get to other levels of complexity and continue to need your help. Like this is my philosophy. Like I have no problem helping a customer and like that's just my thing. Like I don't know. I only have one speed, and that's like all in. Like if I want to work with you, like I'm all in. So I'm going to give you the keys to the kingdom. I'm going to come in as like, my attitude is I come in as like a part owner. Like I just talk we all the time. This is us, right? I just all in. So I'm not going to hold back and be like, well, we got to do this. Now I do want to be right. I want to be compensated for what I'm doing to help grow your business. I can't give you the keys to the kingdom for free. But man, I don't want to have a scarcity mindset and be like, well, am I getting everything out of this? And I gotta keep dripping to get a little bit more. Trust me, I just believe this because I've seen this in 20 years of existence. I've seen this in my life, both in the things that I grow, in the people, right? Some people won't bring on staff or they hire lesser quality staff because they're afraid if they bring in all-stars, that those all-stars will like take over. How? What are you even talking about? Like just these weird fears. Really look at yourself and say, am I hindering my growth? Am I hindering my impact because I'm afraid of something? I'm afraid to actually give customers the overwhelming experience they deserve because I'm afraid if I do that, it won't come back to help me. I'll just spend a lot of money and spend a lot of time. And the reality is this, sure, you might have a few crappy customers. I think the reason you might have crappy customers is because you charge so little. That may be a thing too, right? If you think about the people that show up on Black Friday for like just the dumb. We don't probably do this anymore, but I remember when I was a kid, people would actually show up. They wait in line, and they would just be horrible. Like for what? Like a free power strip when you buy a new TV? I mean, just dumb stuff. And that's not customer delight. That's customer stupidity. You're asking for, I think, customers who only care about the bottom line. And again, for some things, maybe that's, and I'm sure there are businesses out there that want to go after that crowd. I don't. I'm not interested. I've worked with people like that. I have no interest. I don't mind charging higher than normal prices because A, I know that I will deliver way above what I charge. Number two, because I kind of want to thin the herd. If you don't want to invest in yourself, if you want to nickel and dime your way to growth and scalability, guess what? You shouldn't be in business. Because if that's your mindset, you're going to be a horrible boss to anyone you hire. You are not going to give good customer service because you're going to be stingy. And I just am not interested in I don't think you sow anything good into the world. I think stingy mindsets, scarcity mindsets, all those things are not they're not healthy. They're not healthy for you. They're not healthy for anyone who would ever work for you. And so better for you to go out of business. This is my stark, if you want to be like, maybe I woke up on the wrong side of the bed this morning. I don't know. I care about good businesses, and I care about working with people that are good people. And I think being part of that is helping you. Now, maybe you say, well, man, maybe I am in that mindset. Well, okay, well, what's put you in that mindset? How do we get you out of it? Because I think part of the problem, one of the reasons you might not be able to delight customers is because you got some things going on in your mind that are more driven by fear and the negative than they are by the positive. So let's figure that out. Let's figure out how to man, just be all in. I'm just looking at my notes here. Make them feel a part of. Yeah, it's not just about being over the top to solve that problem. It's about making them be a part of something. How can you do customer delight? Make them feel a part of a community. Now you see this. There's been a turn over the last decade where businesses try to create like a nonprofit almost, like buy a pair of Tom's shoes and we'll send a pair of Tom's shoes to Africa. And again, some of that stuff is good. Some of that stuff is really dumb. It's really bad. Like only because I've done foreign missions work where some of the stuff that we did in the name of look at us actually brought more woe to the places where we did that work than good. So I'm not as interested in your whole buy this here and we'll do something in some foreign country. I'm not a huge fan of that stuff at all, only because I don't see much of it happening for good. Now, maybe that there's like a real partnership with a real nonprofit that's doing actually good work. Maybe that's of interest. I would say this, and I'm not saying that you can't do that. I know a company, I actually work with a company right now who they're a coffee company, and the coffee company only exists because it helps fund a nonprofit. And that nonprofit was the owner of the coffee shop. It's his first baby. Like the nonprofit is why he exists. And so it works with the coffee company. I'll just pitch it. It's called Campers Coffee, and it exists because of this nonprofit called City Campers. City Campers is a ministry to help people in homelessness to get back on their feet, to get out of homelessness, to get back into community. And so he started this coffee shop or this coffee company to then fund the nonprofit. He was looking for creative ways to fund the nonprofit, looking for creative ways to serve the community, build relationships, and then so he has these two organizations. But he would gladly close the coffee shop if it ever impacted his ability to run City Campers well. And I love that about him. But here's the thing. That is a real nonprofit doing real work. It's not like the coffee company is like, how can we look good? How can we have a component of us that looks good so people will feel a part of something? I think that's where we want to be careful, right? Make sure that whatever you're inviting people into is something powerful. And that's why I'd say I don't think you need to start with some nonprofit, some like giving foreign, aid to Africa or even helping homelessness. I think what you can do is say, what is my product or my service? And is there an opportunity for community within that? Like think of Nike. Nike, just do it. There's a like when you buy Nike, you're a part of this community of athletes. Even if you're a couch potato, you feel a part, right, of this Nike just do it mentality. Think about, is it Under Armour who bought, who has the Rock, right? And so he's this, you're going to be rock fit. You're going to be right. And so that's why people buy that stuff. Like you're inviting people into a community. And so maybe it's just a part of your slogan. Maybe it's a part of your, I don't know. That I think that I would just encourage you, think about that. Like, is your product or your service, is there a way to create a community? Is there something there? Like I know, so the Spartan program. So I have a health and wellness program helping men become physically, mentally, emotionally fit so that then they can pour out into their relationships and into the rest of their lives, their purpose, their work, their play. And so we have the Spartan program, which is a paid, specific, planned out, customized program that people pay to be a part of. We also have the Facebook group, and that's where anyone can be a part of that community. Anyone can glean right on the knowledge, on the podcasts I do, on all that stuff, because I want everyone to be a part, but I want only a few to be invited into the actual, like where I take accountability and they take accountability together of their transformation. And so think about that. I think there could be something there. And maybe not. I'm not saying that you have to. I just think it's important for you to think through, are they a part of something bigger than just an exchange of goods? And if it is, maybe it is just an exchange of goods. I would just ask you, has that experience, how can you make that experience over the top? How can that experience, especially, again, most small businesses are very relationship, right? You're not selling, even the coffee shop, they're not just selling beans in a Safeway where no one interacts with you. They have a shop, they have a drive-through, they have places where you're interacting with actual humans, you're doing customer service. And so when you're doing those things, man, how can you make that service over the top? How can you make them feel a part of something? How can you delight them? So what problem do you solve for your customer? Are you actually solving it? Are you solving it in a way that makes them go, man, how awesome was that? How awesome was that? Number 2, and this will be real quick, is just get customer feedback. Like, it's just really simple. Ask. Don't assume the experience of your customer. Just because they smiled as they gave you their credit card, just because they purchased something, doesn't mean that it was a good experience. Maybe they were so desperate for it to solve their problem that they just gave you a chance. So be careful that you assume that you're doing a good job instead of actually asking. Ask. Do customer surveys. I as I just told you, I had the Spartan program. I just had a conversation with a client, like, hey, tell me how I can make this better. Tell me, like, what do you think would, how could I go over the top to really encourage, to really motivate, to really inspire, to be of service? And he gave me some good feedback. And so I think that's where I want you to be. And some of that you may know, and some of it you might not know. The not know is amazing, because then you're like, wow, I never thought of that. The no may help you. You may have already known it, but it may help you go, that's what I have to prioritize. And that's what I'm doing. Like, that information they gave me, it just made me go, I've got to buckle down and prioritize this. I got to make that thing happen, because I do know, I believe it too. I believe it would make the program better. And so I'm going just to double down to make that happen. So think about that. How can you delight your customers? Well, figure out what problem you solve and then solve it in an overwhelming, awesome way. And number 2, get customer feedback. Really ask them how you're doing and how you can make your experience better. I hope that helps. Hope that encourages. If I can help you think through those things, if I can help you grow your business, if I can help just have someone to talk to go, man, I got to get out of this. Right now I'm in that stress. I'm in the weeds. I love helping business owners get out of the weeds, and so they can get above it and really look at their business. I think that's the issue with small businesses. You get so stuck in the everyday grind that you never have time to come up for air and really look, so that you can dream, so that you can get creative, you can get strategical, and really moving the ball forward to see your business grow. If I can help, hit me up, HaltingWinter.com, schedule a free call, free assessment, take the business report, all kinds of ways you can get the ball rolling and take action today. Hope that encourages you. Until next time.